A new thriller is streaming on Netflix. It's called The Rip, and it's a crime thriller that stars Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Joining us now to tell us about it is TV host and entertainment expert Andrew Freund. Thanks for being with us, Andrew. I heard this is based on a true story. Tell us about this movie.
Yeah, Ali. So this film is based on a true story or true events about a group of Miami cops that go to a home to seize cash. Now, they think there's maybe a couple $100,000 in cash. Come to discover there's 20 million. And I had a chance to go to New York City earlier this week to sit down with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck to talk about it. Let's take a look.
How much do you love San Francisco?
I love San Francisco.
Amazing. It's a great city. Yeah. I mean, you know, I live in LA, and in fact, we almost moved to San Francisco, Jen Garner and I. And I do often or periodically think, oh, maybe we should have gone through it. What happened was somebody came and offered and said, hey, look, you know, we'll overpay for your house. We love the house. Yeah. And we thought, boy, that might be worth it to do. There were a lot of paparazzis up in LA, and we thought it might be nice to raise the kids were little. In San Francisco, we went up. We found a school for our daughter. Oh. We found a house a school in San Francisco. Yeah. And a house we found in Ross, actually, because Robin Wright told me that was a great place to live. Yep. And we would have done it, but the guy backed out.
All right, I want to set the scene up. So obviously in the film, you guys find $20 million. I want to know today, if you were going to find $20 million, tax-free, what would you splurge on? What would you splurge on if you could, if you just found it?
But the truth is, like, because having had moments where, I made a movie and that was more money than I thought I would have, and I can splurge on something and done it, I'm sorry to report that it doesn't do the thing you think it's going to do. Okay. That actually, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. And you kind of don't feel it, and it doesn't really make a difference in how happy you are. I'm not in any way diminishing the fact that, like, not having enough money is a struggle, and that we all kind of feel like it would be better with more. Yeah. But the thing that it doesn't do that.
Yeah, you know? That's fair. Talk to me, Matt, about this was based off a true story? Like, this really happened?
Yeah, so Joe Carnahan, who directed it, he also wrote it, and he is very close with this group, the Tactical Narcotics Team that actually exists in Miami, and Chris Cassiano, who leads that group, is a really dear friend of Joe's, and so my character is based entirely on Chris, and so Joe, just in hanging out with them, kind of learned about this thing that they do there, which was they kind of announced if you can give us a tip on money that's been made from criminal activity, drugs or guns, and we can seize that money, you can get a piece of the seizure. And so suddenly all these tips started coming in, and this team would go in and they would try to find this money and seize it. And so Chris's team went in and they were going to hit a house for what they thought was, a relatively nominal amount of money, $70,000 or something, $100,000 or whatever it was, and they stumbled into a house where there was $20 million in the house. And so, in Miami, the rule is you have to count the money on site, to make sure that nobody's putting anything in their pocket and everything's on the up and up. And Joe just heard that and thought this is the great kind of makings of the launching point for a really good thriller.
Ali, I think I have to disagree with Ben, because I think if I found $20 million, it would make me happy. So,
Although these actors are such blockbuster actors, I mean, they have $20 million to spare. So I feel like that's a drop in the bucket for them. But two things stood out to me about this. First of all, I had no idea Ben Affleck was this close to be living in San Francisco years ago. That was an interesting story there. But both of these actors have done films in this genre before. They've been really successful. Think about Affleck in The Town and Damon in The Departed. Do you see some parallels between that genre in those hits and this film now?
Yeah, great question, Ali, 100%. When I was watching it, it kind of reminded me of Training Day. It kind of reminded me of Heat. And one of the things that I loved about this film is you don't know who to trust. First, I thought Matt was the bad guy. Then I thought Ben was the bad guy. And it kind of goes back and forth. So the twists and turns actually are really awesome. And another thing, bring it back to the Bay, is Joe Carnahan, the director, actually went to SF State. And one of his inspirations for his career was actually a teacher that he had at SF State. He told me about that. But look for this film to be the #1 movie on Netflix this weekend. So when you're not watching the Niner game, you can pop on Netflix and you can watch The Rip. I really, really enjoyed this film, Allie. I think everyone's going to like it. It's going to do really well.
Yeah, also interesting that it's going straight to Netflix. I think about some of the big films that Damon and Affleck did together decades ago, Good Will Hunting. I mean, it's just a sign of the times and how different movies are distributed now. That's another interesting parallel there. Thank you so much, Andrew, for that update on that film. We'll be sure to check it out. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Allie.